Hey guys, it's Laurie. Thanks for stopping by. Let's go make something. I'm starting my Christmas truck DIY by using 2 of the wooden trucks from the Dollar Tree. I want to make the truck 3D, so I need to remove 2 of the fenders, 1 of the doors, and both of the pine trees. Using my kitchen knife, I carefully and very slowly removed these pieces of wood. Everything came off pretty easily except for the tree, and it left some imperfections on the wood. This is basically the back side of my truck, so I just used a piece of sandpaper and I filed it down the best I could. It's not perfect, but you know what? An old red truck's probably going to have a couple of dents. With all my pieces removed, I'm now going to add on the door onto the opposite side of the truck from where I removed it. I'm saving my trees for another project down the road. Using this pretty red acrylic paint, I'm giving all 4 pieces a good coat. I'm painting both sides of both trucks, and that's just in case you can see anything once they're put together. I'm painting my fenders, and I'll be adding them to the truck after I paint my wheels. With my red trucks complete, I'm using some black acrylic paint to add on the tires. If you're not able to find these trucks, but you have the red truck signs from the Dollar Tree, I made an Easter egg truck out of those, and I will link that video below. All you'll need to do is follow the same instructions, and you'll be able to make your Christmas tree truck. And now that my tires are dry, I'm going to use my glue gun and attach the fenders. I'm using 1 of the wooden Dollar Tree crates for the bed in my truck, and I'm going to be painting it with some golden brown acrylic paint. Once my crate is dry, I'm going to hot glue it to the side of 1 of the trucks. I ran a generous amount of hot glue on the bottom and the side, and then I attached 1 of the trucks to the crate. With 1 side attached, I'm following the same instructions and attaching the other side. To make the roof and the hood for my truck, I'm using the 1-inch craft sticks from the Dollar Tree. I'm starting at the top. I put my craft stick in place, mark the ends with a pencil, and then I cut it with my scissors. I checked the fit, and using that craft stick, I measured and cut 2 more for the roof. Once they're cut, I'm numbering each of them in order, and this will make it easier when I attach them later. For the hood, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm measuring the craft stick, I'm cutting it to size, and then I'm numbering each one after I cut them. I'm continuing to measure and cut along the front, and I'm cutting 2 craft sticks where the headlights will be. Once I'm done, I'm going to glue them in place according to how I numbered them. I'm running a light line of glue on each side and then securing my craft stick in place. Once my roof is complete, I'm now attaching them to the hood. After I glued my 5th piece on the hood, there's an awkward area where the headlights are, so I'm using my sandpaper to file down the edge of my craft stick, and this will allow it to fill in the open space. And to finish up, I'm now attaching my last few pieces. Now that we're done and the craft sticks are glued in place, there's a little bit of an overhang on the front. So I'm using some of my Dollar Tree sandpaper, and I'm just going to sand it down until it's flat. I'm once again using my red acrylic paint, and I'm painting the craft sticks so the truck looks complete. To jazz up the tires, I'm using some metal washers that I found in my husband's workshop. I'm also using 4 buttons that I had on hand. I'm taking a red pencil and I'm accenting the outside. I'm using my E6000 and my glue gun to attach the metal washers to the tires. I'm not sure if the hot glue would be enough, so that's why I decided to use both. After my washer was attached, I then used my hot glue gun and attached the plastic buttons. If you don't have these items on hand, you can always paint the center or add a bottle cap or even a paper cutout, or you can just leave it plain. With my tires complete, I'm adding a wooden cutout to the back. I found this at Joann's and I think it cost me 79 cents. I'm going to paint it with the same golden brown paint, but before I do, there are 2 little holes on either side. So I'm cutting a craft stick in half and I'm gluing it onto one side of the sign. With everything in place, I gave it a quick coat of paint, and when it was dry, I used my hot glue gun and I attached it to the back of the truck bed. To cover up the holes on this side, I'm using 2 of the sparkly green trees from this Dollar Tree sticker pack. These stickers are wood, so I'm adding some hot glue and covering the holes. There was a little overhang on both of the stickers, so I just touched it up with my paintbrush. To make license plates for my truck, I'm using 2 of the tumbling blocks, and I'm painting them with my golden brown paint. Once they were completely dry, I'm using these Dollar Tree stickers to customize my plates. There is limited space, and I was trying to come up with something clever that had to do with trees, and I was thinking oak or fir. And then I looked out my window, and I literally live in a pine forest, and I thought, pine, that's the perfect word to put on my license plate. Using my glue gun, I then attached one to the front of the truck and one to the back. I'm making a wreath for the front of the truck and the 2 doors, and I'm using some of this Dollar Tree wired garland. I decided where I wanted it on my door, and I made a circle out of the garland. Once I snipped it off, I then wrapped the wired ends around each other. I measured the front of my truck, both doors, and you can see I have 3 little messy wreaths. I'm using my scissors and giving all 3 a haircut. I'm using some different colored Mardi Gras beads to add some ornaments onto my wreaths. For both of my door wreaths, I'm using my glue gun and attaching my green beads. I also made a similar wreath for one of my Dollar Tree houses, and I'll link that video below in case you'd like to check it out. To add a simple bow to all my wreaths, I'm using some of this Dollar Tree red and white gingham ribbon. I'm cutting small strips out of the ribbon, and then I'm just making a simple bow. I added a little hot glue and attached it to my wreath. To make the wreath for the front of my truck, I snipped some different colors of Mardi Gras beads. I placed little dots of hot glue onto my wreath and then popped the ornaments into place. And when this wreath was complete, I added the same simple bow. With my 3 wreaths finally finished, I'm adding a red Mardi Gras bead in the middle of each bow. Before I attach the wreaths, I'm using 2 buttons that I had in my stash as the headlights. I snipped off the backs so they would lie flat, and I attached them to the front with my glue gun. I'm adding each wreath by placing a circle of glue on the back and attaching it in place. This next step is something I like to do, but it's completely optional. To define the lines on my truck, I'm using my pencil and I'm just running it along all the edges and the fenders. When I'm done, I rub my finger along my pencil lines and I just think it gives the truck a little more of a rustic appearance. I moved around the truck, making sure to get all the edges and the fenders. To finish up my Christmas tree farm truck, I'm adding some of the Dollar Tree trees into the back. And of course, who else but Santa would be driving this truck? He's from the Dollar Tree and I felt a little bad because I had to cut off his hat, but once I did, he fit perfectly inside. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me, and please give this video a thumbs up. If you're new and you think, hey, I'd like to come back and hang out with her again, don't forget to click that little red subscribe button below. I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.